Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio and TV. I'm your host, Sarah Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of three. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you're notified every week with my new podcasts Mondays and Tuesdays. And if you haven't already, join my free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. There's no downside. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey in addition to truly taking control of your health. Today, we are going to be talking about a topic I love, and I'm actually going to be doing today. We have Heather Hiniker here talking about red light therapy. Welcome, Heather. How are you?
Hi, Sarah. Thanks so much for having me. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited. We will be doing more of these in 2023. So look out for all of these, you guys. Heather is our technology guru in the health space. And as I am on the cutting edge of supplements and devices, Heather is a big part of that devices protocol for me. And I feel like I could live at her place if she had a bed there. So we're going to be talking about one of my favorite technologies, but I really don't even know all of the benefits, and that's red light therapy. So why don't we go through what red light is and what the red light therapy benefits are?
Great. It's also one of my favorite technologies that we offer here at the center. So red light therapy, there's all different names for it. You can call it red light therapy, photobiomodulation, low level laser, but it's all the same thing. And depending on which wavelengths are being emitted, those are affecting different benefits in the body. So I'll go into, I love the word photobiomodulation. If you break it down, you can know photo is having to do with light. Bio is life, and then modulation is change. And that is exactly what is happening when your body's exposed to certain wavelengths of light. The specific bed that we have at my office it's a full body photobiomodulation bed. It's actually the only bed that's classified as cleared as a class 2 device by the FDA. And it's emitting 4 wavelengths of light. So most red light, or all red light, is basically within certain nanometers, certain wavelengths of light. And you're looking anywhere from like 620 to a little over 700. And that just means it's visible light. The bed that we actually have, it emits 4 wavelengths. So it does emit the red light, which is the 630 and 660. These are the nanometers of light that actually have been proven for skin, right? So it's increasing collagen, elastin. It's actually preventing and then also correcting wrinkles. There's been studies. Everything I'm going to say today, there's a study that backs it. So red light is one of the most researched modalities we actually have here. And there's thousands of studies proving all different things that it does. The reason I decided to get the LightStim LED bed was not just because of the aesthetics. So it's a great side effect to have beautiful skin, but I'm really concerned about what's happening on a cellular level inside of our bodies. And so the other 2 wavelengths of light that our particular bed emits is a 855 and a 940. And these are more of the near infrared range. You can't see them, so they're not visible to the eye, but what they're doing on a physiological cellular level is pretty important. So they get to a certain temperature, and that temperature in combination with the other wavelengths of light is helping to induce a lot of things. I mean, it's making your mitochondria, which, as we know, are the batteries to our cells, produce more energy, their ATP. But doing so, it's making more of a molecule called nitric oxide. So if you're familiar with nitric oxide, they actually call it a miracle molecule. It's responsible for it's actually needed for our mitochondria to produce the ATP we need for every process that our body goes through. And as we age, our nitric oxide production tends to drop off about 8% every decade. So by the time we're 50 years old, we're only producing about 15 to 20% of the nitric oxide that we had in our prime. And that's why age happens. It's one of the components. So by being exposed to the light stem LED bed, you're basically filling your nitric oxide tanks to full. And that phenomenon will last 4 to 6 days of a full tank, and then it slowly starts falling off. So the majority of our clients are coming 1 to 2 times a week. And just with more exposure, the benefits are coming. So we'll go over the benefits right now, unless Sarah, you have a...
Yeah, I have a point just on the nitric oxide. So I want to just emphasize this is something that people try to improve on, especially with athletes do with like beet juice or, those supplements to increase. I think beets are one of the big ones.
Yes.
I feel like there's something else out there that is increasing the nitric oxide, but it increases that vascular dilation. Is that correct?
Correct.
So
Yes.
that is part of where you're going to get that increase in the athletic performance and just overall recovery. But everyone who listens to me knows that my favorite thing to talk about is ATP and mitochondria. And you can talk about the paleo diet, the keto diet, the vegan diet, but I think we're coming into the age where it's the mitochondrial diet. And this is part of your food or your diet, your mitochondrial diet. So anyways, just wanted to touch on those.
So a lot of times people are like, well, how is this affecting me, right? And we were talking about the mitochondria on a cellular level. Well, our cells actually have molecules in them called chromophores. They're chromophores. And what they're doing is actually absorbing the light. And we need that for basically all functions, like I was saying, the same reason we need ATP. So it's kind of a chemical reaction that when your body is exposed to this light, those chromophores start absorbing it, and it sets off this chemical reaction of producing more nitric oxide, and then the mitochondria are basically producing more ATP. That's just a real fast, simple way to say it. And then as far as benefits, this particular bed has studies proving what the 4 wavelengths of light that it's emitting is doing. One being reduction of systemic inflammation. That's actually been proven. Also pain or stiffness associated with arthritis. And then they just got done, and I believe it's going to be published here soon, in regards to blood pressure and proving that being exposed to the light stem LED bed actually naturally reduces high blood pressure, which is huge because from what I hear, it's more effective than any pharmaceutical that you could take. So really excited that we're going to be able to start promoting that because it has a study backing it. And then some of the other things like we had discussed, skin is a huge thing. So anytime skin is compromised or there's something going on, whether it be a diagnosis, the light stem is the 630 and 660 nanometers are going to help support the skin. And, like I said, the collagen increase and elastin increase, the evening of skin tone, it actually helps prevent against UV rays as well, which is really important. And I've noticed personally, like any discoloration or dark spots as I was getting older, those have gone away and all over my entire body. So I'm not a mother of 3, but I am a mother of 1, and just being pregnant one time changes your stomach area. And I'll tell you, like the firmness and tightness of my skin throughout my whole body has definitely changed with being exposed to red light over the last few years. And then some of the other things that it's doing, it's helping to prevent against cardiovascular disease and strokes, which is very important. That's been proven. And then just protecting your cells against free radical damage. I mean, the air we're breathing, the food we're eating, there's oxidative stress associated with pretty much everything we're doing, and free radicals, and the light stem is going to help mitigate that as well. So, there's thousands of studies. It's funny. We were talking earlier, Sarah, about lymphatic flow, and is it improving that? And I'm like, wow, that's a great question. I don't know, because we have other devices that are working with the lymph. So I haven't thought about red light for that. And it's not the visible red light that's actually affecting, it's the near infrared that is affecting it. And there's been studies proven to optimize lymphatic flow and drainage with these particular wavelengths that we're emitting with the light stem. So, I think it's pretty neat when you can go in and Google red light with whatever you're trying to accomplish, and usually something comes up because it's so heavily studied.
You mentioned oxidative stress and toxicity, and those are the two things that are accelerating aging. And when I talk about reverse aging, we need to reduce that oxidative stress or combat it and combat that inflammation. So you're getting that all in this bed. And as far as the lymph goes, when you were talking about the lymph earlier, you did say for sure it's increasing circulation and blood flow, and that is super important. And I also want everybody to know these cameras are very kind as far as our skin and everything, but Heather in person has probably the most beautiful skin, no makeup, and I know it's because of these technologies and all the other stuff she does, but it truly is a testament to her technologies. I want to talk about the bed you have versus some of the other red light therapies out there to be aware of, because there are so many devices at all different price points. So you think, maybe I'll just get one off of Amazon for a fraction of the price. What should we all be looking for when looking at red light devices?
That's a great question, and something that I really took into consideration before purchasing the particular bed that we have. When I initially thought we were going to get a full body photobiomodulation bed, I was looking at a completely different setup. A lot of the beds actually have the canopy over it, right? So you're getting your front and back at the same time. And I thought, well, that's what I want, because that's time effective, and our clients' time is money. We want to do as many technologies as we can in the shortest amount of time and get the biggest benefit. But learning how truly red light, for it to be most effective, you need to be about a quarter of an inch away from the lights. Okay, so that's pretty impossible. That's completely impossible to do with a canopy bed. And then a lot of these other ones that you see, these panels, right? And we won't name any brands or anything, but there's panels you can stand in front of. I feel, there's probably some benefit, but when we're talking about affecting things on a cellular level inside the body, you have to be within that range. And so some of these other devices and brands that are out there, they're probably just going to be doing more surface, like your skin, which is great if that's all you're looking for. But again, we're not aesthetics here at Ascent. So I really want to affect things inside, reverse age on a cellular level inside. And for that to happen, it has to be the proper configuration. This particular bed also has a patented acrylic that you lie on, and it doesn't distort the light or the wavelengths of light. So you truly are getting the nanometers that we say that you're getting. A lot of these other ones, there's a frosted acrylic and the light's being distorted. And then it's also the temperature that your body gets to. There's a reason that you lay 20 minutes on each side. And some of the other beds, they say they're higher powered, but it's getting you to a temperature that's above that, and it happens a lot faster. So I believe that's why most of the other technologies kind of just relay to generic red light published studies. This is the only bed that actually has studies specific to it in regards to what it's doing, and it's because of their patents and the way everything's configured.
Even when you go shop for a far infrared sauna, some of them will say that they've got near infrared as well. And I am smart enough to know that's not really going to do you any good unless you are right here against the panels, which you're not. So am I wrong?
No, you're right. And that's more like, so the red light, the range of 620 to around 700, and then when we start getting into near infrared and infrared, it's above 700 that it's supposed to be just the heat. You can't really see it. I think it's like up to 720 or something. But again, they say that there's benefit when you see certain colors, right, of light, as far as like mood changing and everything. So there might be a little benefit, but if we're truly trying to affect chemical and physiological responses on a cellular level, it needs to be administered the way that this is being administered.
Right. So there's a big misconception that red light therapy can make hyperpigmentation worse. Can you address that?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak personally from what I've seen. It does not. It certainly does not. I think the misconception also comes, a lot of these beds look like tanning beds, and obviously that is going to affect the skin in a negative way. I think the other thing to be cognizant of is, a lot of times when we are exposed to something, we think more is better, more is better. And so people tend to overuse. And then if you overuse anything, it can cause damage. If you overuse red light or light therapy, longer than you're supposed to, or more frequently than you're supposed to, you can cause skin damage. So it's important to stay within the guidelines and where all the studies have been done. If you use it properly, it actually does just the opposite. But I mean, just like with anything, there's a certain law called Arndt's law, and it talks about different frequencies. And when our cells are exposed to subtle supporting frequencies, it's supporting regeneration and cell growth. And as the frequencies become stronger and stronger, a lot of time it arrests or retards cell growth. So that's something I always keep in my mind when I'm being exposed to a new technology or frequency, and I'm loving the way it's making me feel. I tend to want more, but with a lot of these, you don't want to do that.
Well, you're speaking that to me. I think you're telling me something that I need to hear, Heather. Yes, us type A personalities tend to do that. One of the things that I am really excited about is the fact that it decreases exercise, fatigue or muscle fatigue, and helps improve the post-exercise recovery. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so that's actually been proven as well. Anything like inflammation wise. So when we're working out, we're breaking down the muscle, and that's why we tend to feel, the lactic acid buildup and the soreness. And, we have professional athletes that come in that train 2-3 times a day. I mean, this is what they do for a living. And so they are constantly overtraining at sometimes, and getting on the light stim bed within a couple hours of being on it, they are ready to go again. So we know that it does that. The other thing I don't think we've really touched on is wound healing. It expedites wound healing and helps eliminate scars like nothing else out there. We get a lot of post-surgery, whether it be from professional athletes who have crashed a motorcycle or been in an MMA fight and have had surgery, or also post plastic surgery for aesthetics. And it's time and time again, a doctor will say, my gosh, you're healing like faster than I've ever seen someone heal. What are you doing? And red light plays a huge part in it. And even scars that have been with you for decades, you can actually start affecting those. I mean, I've had one on the middle of my chest that I can barely see anymore, and it stood out for forever. So I just think the more you're exposed to it in the amount that you're supposed to be, your body just continuously regenerates and hopefully reverse ages.
This, I'm super excited, and everybody, I'm actually going to be laying on the red bed right after this. Super excited for that. Is there any other benefits that you want to discuss about red light before we get into the supplements and the patches that will enhance your results?
No, I mean, as far as it also gives like an endorphin release, so people get off and they're calm, but they feel a lot happier. And with that, releasing like for pain. So yes, it's reducing inflammation, which you're going to have an effect on pain, but that release of endorphins is also inhibiting pain. There's there's not many technologies in-house when someone comes in that I can say pretty much everyone will benefit from, depending on what they have going on.
Well, just by increasing ATP production, you are increasing your energy, but you're calm at the same time. It's a really interesting. I mean, don't all of us need more energy, but also be calmed down at the same time? That, I think, is the balance we are all striving for. Well, real quick, I wanted to touch on some of the supplements that I believe are enhancing the protocols because in the health world, you want to stack, right? You want to stack the different technologies, supplements, diet, exercise, sleep, and all these protocols to get the best and most optimal levels of health. And unfortunately, we're in a time now that we have to be doing these things. Otherwise, the degradation of our bodies is going to accelerate, and it just keeps happening quicker and quicker. The one is the liquid biocell collagen that you can find it on the website, sarahbantahealth.com. This is the only collagen I've been using for years. And in 2015, I was in a car accident and I got stitches in my eye down to the bone, 4 layers. And the doctor gave me an antibiotic, and he gave me, and then he sent me off on my way. And when I came back, all I had at my disposal at that time was accelerated silver and liquid biocell collagen. I didn't know about any of this other stuff. I didn't have any of my other supplements. Within one week, I mean, the scar was so healed. I could not believe it. And it's just a testament to the need for collagen in our body. And collagen starts declining in our mid-20s, not even our 30s. And so with red light therapy, you are getting that production of elastin and collagen. But then you also, by taking the liquid biocell collagen, it is a formula that has a collagen HA matrix technology, not just collagen. And essentially it looks like the collagen in your body. It looks, so your body takes it in and your body says, oh, I recognize that. I'm going to go put it here. Other collagens from cows, from other sources, the body doesn't really know know what to do with it. And there's so many other different types of collagen. This is type 2 collagen, which can be converted into type 1 and type 3. So it helps support the joint and muscle fitness, your connective tissue health, and then also, of course, skin, which is the most important, and healthy hair, nails, gum, and eyes. And so when you're giving your body the building blocks of the collagen and then using red light therapy, it's going to enhance your results. The next one is kind of crazy, and I've been testing it with it recently a lot, only at nighttime, because this is not something you want to go into Heather's and look like this, but combining the accelerated scalar castor oil and acceleridine on your skin or your wound. What that is, castor oil is the only plant-based oil that penetrates all 3 layers of skin. So scar tissues block the energy of flow, as well as the cerebrospinal fluid flow. And when they're blocked, the blood and the cerebral spinal fluid and the lymph are also blocked. This leads to stagnation. And when stagnation occurs, the iodine is used to clean up the stagnation and help break apart the scars and help address the even hypothyroid issues. I actually do this on my neck because it's helping with my skin and my thyroid. And then the other thing to think about is you are getting that penetration. That ATP for the acceleridine is increasing ATP on the cellular level topically while you are doing the red light therapy. So if you had a handheld red light stim device at home, or maybe if Heather wouldn't mind you coming in looking like an orange face, You could do it at her place with the stuff on your face. And so by putting the castor oil and the iodine, it's driving the iodine into your skin even deeper. The other thing people don't know, as you're talking about the benefits of red light with scar tissue, is scars are where parasites love to live. And they love to just stay right there. So as you're breaking up the scar tissue, it's going to help alleviate the parasites. And then Heather has a biocharger machine that you could do parasite cleanses with. The other one I wanted to mention is the accelerated scalar copper. And copper is essential for the structural things that hold together the body, including collagen and elastin. And collagen production is quite complex and requires many key enzymatic reactions between copper and a very specific enzyme. So why is this important? This is the precursor to collagen and elastin. I talk about copper as being the missing link. It's the unsung hero. In anemia, everyone looks to iron, but actually it's the copper that opens the door to let the iron in. So it's really important also to create collagen, elastin. Those two are the most important molecules for skin integrity and elastin. And studies show that copper supplementation helps with wrinkle reduction, better elasticity, and expedited wound healing. So with the wound healing, you're getting increased wound healing from red light, increased wound healing from the acceleradine, increased wound healing from the accelerated scalar copper. Then you've got My Vital C, and this is a carbon 60. This is not vitamin C. But just with 1 to 2 teaspoons of this a day, it will reduce systemic inflammation, reverse nerve damage, tissue damage, and reverse all aging factors. It also helps with sleep. So when we're talking about all these technologies, these diets, these exercise protocols, everything that we're talking about, if you are not sleeping, throw everything else away. And I actually am just writing a blog on caffeine and the benefits of caffeine and the longevity benefits. And it's all great, but if that caffeine is disrupting your sleep, then you are you're hindering all aspects of your health. Accelerated keto. Why is this important? This is funny. Heather brought up the fact that she's had one baby and the red light has helped with that skin tone and texture going back to without the scar tissue. Well, a lot of people, when they lose weight on a high carb diet, they get that saggy skin. When you're in ketosis, the body, because of autophagy, actually eats away at the old saggy skin, so you don't have that sagging skin. Accelerated keto is kicking you into that fat burning mode. Your body starts tapping into its own fat burn or fat for energy. It also triggers anti-inflammatory mechanisms throughout the body and the skin. And that autophagy increases recycling and cleaning up the diseased and inflammatory cells. And this helps lessen the burden of pushing toxins out through the skin. So also, topically, this is something you could do before going into Heather's without looking like you have an orange face, is the accelerated facelift spray. And this is nano collagen. We call it like food for your skin. Nano collagen, nano hyaluronic acid, nano plant-based minerals. And you just spray it on your skin, and then that red light is actually going to help drive it in deeper. And you add in the face cream. This accelerated face cream was created actually to help with my husband's eczema. I started using it for my acne, and I thought, okay, it helps with eczema, dry skin, and it helps with acne, and it's helping my son clear up his face when he uses it for shaving cream. The uses for this cream is amazing. It was created to complement the facelift spray, and essentially it is a whole bunch of nutrients and food for the skin as well. And you can use it, like I said, on scar tissue, on all areas of your body, eczema, psoriasis. And so now I want to get into the patches. And Heather is an expert on them as well. So one thing that I really liked about the X49 patch is, yes, it burns fat. Yes, it helps build muscle. Yes, it's like a Faraday cage protecting us from 5G. But HKCU, copper peptide, meaning we need that copper, right, is triggered by the X49 patch. And why don't you help explain, Heather, why this is so important for the skin?
For sure. Well, but patches are actually a form of photobiomodulation. So on the same subject that we're talking of, it's just a different way to administer it. We're using our body's heat and light to reflect back, depending on what patch it is, it's actually reflecting back different wavelengths of light, and they're triggering things within the body. So the X49 specifically on the AHK, there's most science that shows how it's reverse aging the skin. So just helping, I mean, I wear mine every single day, right below my belly button. It's supposed to help with skin, 10 times hair growth. When I had COVID for the second time, I lost about a quarter of my hair, and it has been growing back like wildfire since, using the X49 and everything. I have like 2 sets of hair right now. I'm trying to get it caught up from where I lost at the bottom, but thankfully it is growing back. And then the X39 in combination. So I personally use 2. They're the sister peptides of the AHK and the GHK copper peptide, and they're way more effective if you use them together. I mean, X39 we know had benefit for people's skin by itself, in regards to some of the before and afters we've seen. I don't know if you've seen the recent one of the lady's neck in a month and how it changed, but it didn't look like the same neck. And she documented it every single week of that. It was pretty phenomenal. But it's just, our bodies are the miracle. And we always talk about that, Sarah. Yes, we need support. We need different frequencies, like technologies, to kind of coach the body along, but we have within ourselves the ability to regenerate, reverse age, and to heal. We just, because of the way our world is, and supplements too, we're not getting the nutrition we need, so we have to supplement. Same thing, we're not getting the light that we need anymore. We're not getting the magnetic fields that we need anymore. The air we're breathing is toxic. The water we're drinking, I mean, it goes on and on. And so when we have ability to be exposed to certain frequencies and technologies that will help support what we're no longer getting, the body is going to take care of itself. And we always talk about we're only as healthy on the outside and look as young on the outside as our cells are in the inside. So starting from the inside out, it will reflect, in time on the outside, and people will ask, what are you doing? I mean, we have the Alavita patch as well, which is a skin and organ regenerating patch that we use at nighttime. So, the patches, it's just different forms of frequency, different forms of photobiomodulation, but all it is using the body to do the job it needs to do.
I want to touch on what you just said as far as the body's the miracle. I have a family member who has a great head of hair, but because of COVID, she's losing her hair, freaking out. And she kept saying, I'm staring in the mirror at my ugly hair. And I said, stop it. I said, by talking to yourself in that way, yes, your hair is going to fall out, and none of these patches, none of these supplements are going to do anything, because you can heal your body and make changes in your body, both positive and negative, just by your thought patterns. And it's something that I'm actually working on myself for some of my own health goals. But I wanted to touch on the X49 patch specifically as far as the fibroblast. So skin aging results in a rapid decline in the number of fibroblasts. And as a result, the amount of collagen and elastin in the skin reduces, making skin more prone to those signs of aging. And then you get saggy and wrinkles and crow's feet and all that. Well, the HK copper peptide helps reverse the signs of aging by triggering the growth and development of the new fibroblasts. And the other thing, research also suggests that copper peptide stimulates the production of type 1 collagen by 300%. Now, the liquid biocell collagen is type 2 that can convert into type 1 and type 3. But here you've got the copper peptide from X49 increasing that type 1 specifically by 300%, which I love. And then you mentioned X39. I also wanted to talk about the glutathione because as it's detoxifying us, right? These toxins and free radicals are accelerating our aging on our skin. And so by detoxing our liver, and you guys all know I love my liver, you've got to clean out that liver to let the body detox these toxins, oxidative stress that are causing the aging on the inside and the out. It also boosts your immune system, protects your brain. My protocol at night is I've got Eon in my forehead or Alavita and the other one on my chin. And then I've got glutathione on my right and carnosine on my left. And why I love that is I think it's going to help my skin, but it's also hitting my brain at night. I've got carnosine, which is a neuroprotector, and glutathione as well. I also am I'm 40, going on 47. And I want to go as long as I can without wearing eyeglasses. And then I also have hearing loss in my family, and I know I'm prone to it. So that's where I'm also trying to hit my eyes and my ears. It's a fun look at night, especially if you go to bed with the orange face and the 4 things. I try to do it when my husband's not looking, but those are the things that we do to test things out. I also like the Eon patch just as an anti-inflammatory, helping with mood, happy patch. Like we said, with the red light therapy, you've got, you're getting more energy, more ATP, but then you're also less stress, right? Mm-hmm. So the Eon patch is helping with those as well. Did you have anything more to say about those patches?
No, I mean, we all wear multiple throughout the day. It's probably one of the easiest and most effective technologies, if you'll call it, product that we offer for sure. And it's sometimes people don't have access to coming to a scent, right? But that patches are something that they can do and still get the benefits of photobiomodulation at home. The other thing, when we're talking about all the benefits of red light, you had hit on, how detox is so important. Well, we know that red light is increasing circulation and then also the lymphatic flow. And within like your capillaries, that's where your cells are actually exchanging things like nutrients. That's where oxygen is being absorbed, nutrients are being absorbed, but more importantly, that's where waste is being disposed. So if you are increasing the flow or increasing the way by which the blood is moving through the vessels, you're actually optimizing and helping the cells release a lot of those toxins and waste. And so that plays a huge role as well in reverse aging. So that was something we didn't really touch on. And then the circulatory system of your blood is a huge circulatory system, but the lymphatic system is actually larger, and they are so synergistic together just to help get things cleaned out. So,
right. We talked about hair loss, and I wanted to just emphasize that real quick because I know it's on everybody's mind. Like I mentioned, people that have never had hair issues or having hair issues, men and women. How does red light affect hair growth?
There is a ton of studies actually on red light and hair growth. And I think what it really has to do with is they say as the blood flow, like on top of your head decreases, that's when hair loss tends to happen. Well, what usually happens as we age, the organs that are in our core are being protected. So the majority, your body tries to protect that. And so it's trying to optimize blood flow there. But like our extremities and maybe the tops of our heads, bottom of our feet, that's what starts going first. And so red light has been proven to increase circulation. Same thing with the patches. That's what it's doing is in regards to the AHK copper peptide is actually helping to grow new capillaries and vessels. So I think that's why it plays a huge role in hair regrowing.
Yeah, I mean, our bodies don't really care about what we look like. They want to protect our organs. So the first thing to go with stress or disease, autoimmune issues, is hair, nails, and skin. And so to get those, you want to go at it from the inside and from the outside. Well, I want to just also talk about just a few things that you need to be doing that are free and it costs nothing, and none of this other stuff is your easy way out. And that's eliminate the inflammatory foods. The inflammatory foods include sugar, and everyone says, okay, I know I need to cut the sugar. The processed foods and the vegetable oils, those will stay in your cells for over a year. Those are extremely inflammatory. I would rather have you have sugar than the vegetable oils like canola oil, grapeseed oil, peanut oil. These oils are extremely inflammatory. And the problem is when you go out to dinner or lunch and you're using your olive oil, most of the time it's cut with canola oil. So really something to think about. And then dairy, nuts, oxalates, excessive fat, alcohol, amyloid proteins like chicken and conventional beef. These foods are not only notorious for causing inflammation in the gut and skin, but also encourage the overgrowth of gut pathogens that then wreak havoc on the whole immune system. Then what happens? You've got leaky gut, and then your body's not even taking in the nutrients and the supplements that you're taking in. And then your immune system shuts down, then you might end up getting sick. As a result, more damage results to your skin and the body, and then will slow down ATP production. Something about ATP, here we are trying to increase our bank of ATP per mitochondria. By eating a glucose-heavy diet or a high-carb diet, you have 1 or 2 ATP per mitochondria. When you are on a low-carb diet or a ketogenic based diet, intermittent fasting, that increases by at least 5 times. When you take your acceleradine, that ATP increases by 18 times. So you have 32 ATP per mitochondria. That's on its own, the acceleradine, right? Then you've got a low carb diet, at least 5 times, increasing that ATP. And then you add in intermittent fasting, and then you add in these technologies, and the number is exponential. So that is really important to think about. There are a lot of skin pathogens and inside candida, staph, acne, the rashes, eczema, psoriasis, all of those are from the gut. So you want to be careful of what you're eating. And I just went into amyloids and the amyloids from chicken and conventional beef. And this is becoming more and more of an issue because the spike protein is also producing it's also producing amyloids in the body. So then you're increasing your amyloid burden with the chicken and the conventional beef. And then your body, it's that tipping point of your body doesn't know where to go and can't detox these things or break them down fast enough. Next is exercise, right? We all know it, but why aren't we doing it? Exercise increases metabolism. It increases autophagy, anti-aging, detoxification, circulation, sweat, helps with blood sugar. Heather was talking about the capillaries in our hands and our head those things are sacrificed. Well, that's what happens when you become diabetic or insulin resistant is you start losing your feelings in your feet and you become cold. Well, exercise is going to help with the increased autophagy, detoxification. And if you're over the age of 40 and you're a woman, this doesn't mean walking 8 miles or running. This means strength training, lifting heavy weights. That's going to trigger growth hormone and autophagy and muscle growth. It is very difficult to keep muscle as we get older. Now, with the patches and with all of these other things, stimulating muscle recovery from red light, you're going to stay on top of it. But if you don't actively go after that muscle tone, your muscle is going to turn to fat. Your scale may not change. And personally, this has happened to me where the scale doesn't change and doesn't tell me anything, but my muscle will turn into fat if I am not on it as far as what I'm eating, what I'm doing, and lifting heavy weights. So that is really important. You want to increase that muscle mass, lower your stress. The exercise also helps lower stress, balance hormones, and turn on those anti-aging mechanisms. And once you turn those on, like with growth hormone and testosterone, it's much easier to increase that muscle mass and stay on top of it. And I also mentioned sleep in the beginning, but this, I cannot emphasize it enough. Both Heather and I wear Oura rings to track it. And there have been mornings where I wake up and go, well, I was in bed for 8 to 9 hours. And I look at my score and it was not good because my REM sleep wasn't good or my deep sleep wasn't. That's the time where your glymphatic system is working, where it's like the lymph of your brain. And if you're not sleeping well, that's going to accelerate aging and promote aging skin and all of those things. So that's when your body repairs on the inside and the out. That's also why I like to do the patching protocol on my face and the acceleradine and scalar castor oil at night, because all of that work is happening when my body is resting and going, okay, now it's time to go to work, because I'm not working on running or, a Zoom call or something like that. The body is in restorative mode. So all those people that think they can get away with 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, you're no different than the rest of the human population, and that is not true. You are going to suffer. So, Heather, we've got just a minute left. Is there anything that we missed that you want to touch on?
I think we covered a lot.
Well, where can people find you? And because I know a lot of people listening are not local in the Southern California area and can't come see you and lay on your light stem bed, but I do know that there are other devices that they can get that are more for their homes.
100%. So our website is ascentadaptation.com, and we actually have an area where we're distributors for the 11 modalities that we offer here. So a lot of what I do is the distribution and then just the training and coaching on how to use them. A lot of our clients are getting things for home. And then we also, LightStim has been around for about 25, almost 30 years. They're the number one seller for the little handheld. So, for clients that can't come in here and use the full body bed, the handhelds actually do play an important role. I mean, you can definitely get improvement in regards to decreasing wrinkles, increasing collagen and elastin. And then there's also one for pain. So if you have acute injuries, just putting the red light on for 5 to 10 minutes plays a significant role in that. So I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone has in regards to the different devices. That's what I love to do.
Amazing. And that's why I love you. Thank you so much for joining us, and everybody else, thank you for joining me today. And if I can help you with your health issues, you can contact me directly through the website, sarahbantahealth.com. I'm happy to put together a protocol for you, and join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. No downside. I teach you on a daily basis with the tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of that like-minded group to support you on your journey. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and across over 100 channels under Accelerated Health Radio and TV, including YouTube, Stitcher, Pandora, iTunes, whatever podcast platform you subscribe to. If you like what you heard today, Hit the subscribe button and share with a few of your friends who may need our help, and join us every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific and every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific. And you can also use the coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide at sarahbantahealth.com. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great week.
Bye. Thanks.